did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Most of this generation quits the second they get talked to. You did this wrong, or they get yelled at. It's so easy to be great nowadays because everybody else is, most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, if you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it, if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
What is it with our society? We are creating weak individuals that can't handle anything going wrong in their life. As soon as something goes wrong, they are given a prescription, not to fix the problem, to mask the problem. How about giving strategies to strengthen the mind? How about saying, okay, you've allowed your life to get to this point. Now take responsibility and dive deep into personal development. Learn why you feel this way, not because of the event. The scientific facts about why you feel the way you do and what you can do to strengthen it. The moment they are criticized, rather than take any of it on board, rather than prove any of those people wrong, they give up. They attempt to defend the criticism with useless talk, but never with definitive action. The moment they are challenged, they crumble. The moment things get hard, they declare defeat. It must not be for me. It was their fault. If they didn't do this or treat me like this or say this, then I would have made it. No, you're just soft. You're weak. Tell yourself the truth. Because until you do that, until you look in the mirror and acknowledge that you are the problem, you'll never be able to grow into the person that is capable of achieving all those things you want. You are the problem, the only problem. Your mindset is the problem. Your attitude is the problem. It is no one else's fault, it's yours. If you want the good news, you are also the solution. You and only you. If you have character, that statement will change your life. If you have no character, you'll remain an average complaining hater like most other people. You are your only problem, and you are the only solution. Sure, big things happen, tragic loss, things which no one would deserve. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the people who are one job loss away from a breakdown. One relationship breakup away from depression. One argument ruins their entire week. Come on, people. This is not how to live. Even with the big stuff, if you have perspective, if you know who you are, if you really appreciate everything you do have and believe everything is as it should be, all of those big things can be handled much better. Knowing your loved one would want you to be happy and move on. Knowing that living in pain and holding on to resentment is letting that person who did you wrong win. But letting go and living your life, loving your life, that is you saying, I won. That is you saying, I will not allow you to own any piece of my mind and spirit. That is true courage and mental strength. And I'm not saying avoid pain. Pain, suffering, failures, they are all part of every single person's life. There's varying levels of pain for sure. Some suffer more than others, but we all suffer at some level. Some choose consciously or unconsciously to live in that pain, and some decide to move on. You deserve to move on. Mental strength comes from those struggles. It is formed from pain. It is increased when you refuse to give up at times when most others would. It grows when you keep going, when things seem impossible. It grows when you push one more time past what you thought was your limit. It grows with consistency. That is mental strength. Excuses are for weak individuals who have no heart. Take responsibility for where you are now and commit to do something, anything, whatever it takes to make sure your future is better. You do have the choice. You can make excuses and stay where you are, or you can take responsibility, take action, and get where you need to go, where you deserve to go. What do you choose?
There are those of you who will never get to the next level in success or in your life because when you get to this point, you bend. It's simple. My man said it. You can do whatever you want to do.
You're not going to flip the switch at 30 years old and have the big house, nice cars, and a fat bank account just because you wished it. You got to put in the work now, and that work compounds and accumulates and puts you in a position to have that opportunity when you are of that age.
So what did I do? I worked. I worked to such an extreme level that when I push you on work, I don't even ask you to do 50% of what I did.
And your mama didn't like the fact that you were doing it. Your mama didn't understand, and you let your mama in your ear. Like it was your mama's dream. You let your daddy talk you out of it. That was yours. That was something the Creator gave to you. That belonged to you. My mother never understood, but she's working for me now. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder.
You've never done something before. You expect yourself to be awesome at it. You haven't done the work. You haven't put in the time. You haven't put in the study hours.
And what I'm doing now, I was doing 20 years ago, and I have not been. I didn't break. So what? You don't understand how I do what I do. This is what I've been called to. And under no circumstances will I surrender. Under no circumstance will I quit.
Somebody who succeeds. You want to be somebody who builds something. You want to be somebody who people write books about one day.
Hear what I'm saying? Don't feed into it. Don't believe the hype. Somebody told you that hard work don't pay off, and you let a little pain stop you from your dream. Girl, you was there. You was running your business. You were there. Listen to me. If you work for it, if you're willing to put in that sweat, that blood, and those tears, baby, I'm telling you, you can have what you want, be what you want, do what you want. Are you hearing me?
During that point, what did I do? Is I did what I preached to all of you, which is I put in the work. I gave up all my weekends and holidays in high school because I knew I had to pay that price, because I wasn't gonna do I'm gonna go to school, meet some good kids at Stanford and Brown, Ivy League school, make some relationships, and that's gonna be my springboard. I was gonna start with no relationships and in the gutter, and I was gonna have to prove it. And I would have to show up and meet everybody like I did in my 30s. But in my teens and 20s, I was gonna have to work. And so what I did was, to the extreme of anybody I've met that had options, I punted every leisure activity in my life. Nothing. No weekends. No vacations. Zero. Nothing. Nothing. It's my truth. I didn't take a single vacation day. Never. Zero. Zero. All my high school friends, gone, because I wasn't around. All my college friends, post-college, gone. Girlfriends, nothing. All in.
Kobe Bryant doesn't sit there and talk about how many MVPs he's won or how many championships he's won. No, he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning practicing every day. He's not great because he's great. He's great because he puts the work in on a daily basis and he wins every day.
And if you want it, you gotta go get it. You gotta play hard for it. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? It's not for the weak and the uncommitted. The reason why you saying no to stuff, the reason why you pushing the snooze button, the reason why you still going to work tripping, the reason why you ain't blow up is because you still on 70%. You still on 60%. You wanna know why the world's passing you up? Because whatever you do for a living, you barely doing it. You coming and you don't wanna be there. You not bringing the fire. You gotta do it quick. You gotta do it fast. You gotta do it in a hurry. Why? Because there's somebody else who's on the same track you are. Somebody else who, listen to me, they're on the same path that you are. Listen to me, it's somebody else just like you trying to do it, and sometimes they're working just as hard as you're working.
Quit using the word luck, quit believing in luck, and start believing in work. Start believing in fortunate. Start believing in results that come from your actions. And when you do that and you wholeheartedly believe it, guess what? That's what starts to happen.
As Derek Jeter said, there may be people who have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do. At the end of the day, whether you believe in talent or not is completely irrelevant. Everyone should believe in hard work. Everything in your life is literally a result of that. You're born an infant, a lump of flesh that can't even hold its own head up. And yet somehow, by practicing, by learning, by growing, you're able to get better. You're literally incapable of anything when you're born. Every skill that you have in your life, all the things that you take for granted, at one point you couldn't do them. So understanding that humans truly are an adaptation machine and that they are capable of acquiring any skill that they want, but it requires hard work. It requires that you do the reps. It requires that you put in the effort. And at the end of the day, the people that you're going to surpass are not going to be the people that have less talent than you. Maybe they even have more talent than you. It's going to be the people that you're willing to outwork. But until you're willing to outwork them, you're always going to be stuck. And as John Irving said, to do anything really well, you have to overextend yourself. And that's the key. If you want to put in an extraordinary performance, if you want to absolutely dazzle people, then you have to do something amazing. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to do things that other people think are going to break you, that other people simply believe there's no way that you could be able to pull that off, that the human animal just is not capable of the lengths to which you are professing to go. And when you profess it, you have to be willing to back it up, and you have to put yourself on that march knowing in no uncertain terms, under no circumstances, and for no reason whatsoever would you ever be willing to back down. And when you go in with that level of certainty, then and only then are you actually going to be able to pull this off. And as Billie Jean King said, champions keep playing until they get it right. Fatigue will literally chip away at your will to win. It is the thing inside of your mind, that weak voice that tells you that you're not going to be able to make it. The weak voice that begs you to stop, and the weak voice that promises safety and security if you would just quit. And here's the worst part about that. It's right. If you quit right now, if you stop, just sit down, relax. You're not at risk anymore. You're not at risk of embarrassment. You're not at risk of failure. But you're also not at risk of greatness. And if you really want to achieve something, you've got to find ways to put yourself at risk of something great happening. You've got to put yourself at risk of overextending yourself. You've got to be willing to face that you may die, that you may actually fall. And here's the thing, for the people that dismiss that say they would never put themselves in that situation, then you have limits.